Hello, I'm here in SOLIDWORKS 2020 and I'm going to be talking through one of the most important panels in SOLIDWORKS, the sketch panel. It's used to draw 2D shapes which can then be made into 3D shapes and can act as the outline for your design. So sketch allows me to create a new 2D shape, so I'll hit that and you have to draw a 2D shape onto an axis. So or plane, so I'm going to pick top plane and I will draw my 2D shape onto the top plane. This area here is used to draw shapes, so you've got lines. I can just draw a line here. You've got center line, which is the same as a line, but it has no effect on the model, so it can't be extruded out. And you've got the center line. So there's lots of different types of lines there. You've got midpoint lines, sorry. This is a square, and obviously you can draw different squares. There's lots of different options for this. Now, Smart Dimensions is arguably one of the most useful tools in SOLIDWORKS. It forces a measurement upon an object, so I can force this to be 90mm and it will force that. Another important note is that you can do calculations in this, so if I do 90 plus 10, it will make it 100. There are individual dimension things. If you only wanted to do horizontal dimensions, you can only do horizontal, so you can't do vertical with that, but Smart Dimensions is the best for most use cases. Then you have trim entities. Power trim allows you to just drag through anything you want to delete, and trim to closest is useful for trimming only, not a whole line, only the bits that intersect. You can make up most different types of trims with these, but there are specific use cases where you need to use other options. Next we have convert entities and offset entities, which is not necessary for beginners, so I'm not going to cover how to use it in this video, but it allows you to define something that would not normally be defined, such as a line. Now we have mirror entities, which just means I can reflect something on an axis. So if I draw a square here and a center line, so it does not take part, and I'm going to reflect these lines here across, so mirror about this line, and it lets me do that. Now I have linear sketch pattern, so if I draw a shape here, I click hit linear sketch pattern. It's on the x-axis at the moment, I'm fine with that, and I'm going to make 3 of them. Let's space them apart. And now you can see I can control the spacing, so I can tone down the spacing a bit, so they can be as close or as far away as I want them. There we go. And I can change direction clicking this arrow. So I'm going to click yes to that, and it makes 3 fully defined circles. There's also circular sketch pattern, which works in a similar way. Now I'm just going to make a square, and I'm going to use move entities, which means I can select this entity and I can move it on the X and the Y axis, or I can move from, so in this case I'm going to move from center point, and you can see it allows me to physically move it around. Next we've got display and delete relationships. Is also not needed for a beginner, but essentially allows you to lock shapes in position or at an angle and things like that. Now we have repair sketch. So essentially if I have 2 lines and they're not fully connected together, I can hit repair sketch and I'll search for anything above 800, and it's saying it's found 1-2 points gap, and that's obviously that gap there, so I can now go in and solve that. Quick snaps is useful for snapping any shape to a point. So if I have a circle here and I want to put it perfectly on that, I'll just click quick snaps, point, and like that, and it'll draw a circle. Rapid sketch is useful for if you have a 3D shape. So I'm just going to get a 3D shape up, and you want to draw onto this 3D shape. I want to add a sketch onto this 3D shape. If I'm turning on rapid sketch, I can draw something on here, and then I can quite easily draw another thing on here, and I can do another face on here, and it's easy to switch between faces. Instant 2D is used for if you have a shape and you've got dimensions of one of the sides, but you want to physically drag it. If you turn it on, this little box appears and you can drag the shape smaller and bigger, and if you turn it off, you no longer have the ability to do that. Sketch contours or shaded sketch contours just turns on and off the shaded area inside a defined shape or something that's fully enclosed. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.